Say you're dealing with gold, right? You want to be a gold merchant or be involved in the gold business. And so you could rephrase your question, well, I don't want to insult any of the people who come presenting what they have. They think it's gold. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. It will mean you will have to become acquainted with identifying what is gold and all of its levels. And if you can't, then you can only work under the direction of someone who does, who has that knowledge. Right? So there's a way of determining what is 24 karat gold, what is 22, 18, 14, 12, what's gold plate, gold wash, gold leaf, what's imitation gold. So just as you say, well, I don't want to insult any of the customers. And say, yeah, all right, there's a tactful way to explain to them. We have a process by which we can determine whether or not this is real gold or not. And this is not a fantasy. I've done this in India before. You go to a goldsmith, and what do? They take the gold and they burn it under a lamp, and it's covered in black soot. They wipe it off, and that's what a so-called touchstone is, and you scrape it against that, and there's a way of determining what its actual value is. So, without becoming acquainted with what it is and the means of understanding and verifying what this substance is, then one is not in a position to represent it or to make determinations with others in either direction, good or bad. Right? Therefore, we're told you have to put yourself under the guidance of a Vaishnava, a substantial Vaishnava who can determine, assess properly what is valuable, what is not valuable, what is substantial, what is not substantial, what is imitation and what is real. But as once, after being asked so many questions, Srila Guru Maharaj turned to the group of devotees and said, "Can I ask you a question?" They're like, "Sure." And he said, "What is Krishna consciousness?" And one person said, "It's what Prabhupada taught us." That was a good answer. And then someone else said, "Bhakti." And Guru Maharaj at one point said, "Did he say anything about Krishna?" Little teasing. And then Guru Maharaj just stopped the whole thing and he said, "It is reality. It's reality." And he said, "And it's in your interest to become acquainted with that reality." So we're back to this point. How do you determine what is actual gold? And Thailand's famous for the Nilamani, the blue sapphire. Right? But you could go to a place, if you go to a jeweler, they could show you a palm full of blue sapphires, 100 of them. And let's just say they do, for example. One of them's worth $35,000. One of them's worth $3,500. One of them's worth $350, and one of them's worth $35. Which is which? So someone will say, and rightfully from their perspective, well, they all look nice to me. That's not untrue. That's true. They all look nice. Someone else may not care. They say, hey, what's the difference? There's that type of level of understanding also. But someone who's in the market for blue sapphires, it's in their interest. Either they need to become acquainted with how to identify, assess, value of blue sapphires, or they've got to be in connection with somebody who does, or what's going to happen? They're going to be cheated. So a $35 blue sapphire, they're going to be told that it's worth $35,000. So it's not that we're concocting these things. There are ways to determine that. So and dealing with the plurality of currencies. Someone shows up with their money. If that's your job, then of course you don't want to insult the clients, the clientele. They say, yes, we will happily accept your, and they present something, and they may be surprised. Oh, it only yields one of these. That means quantity and quality.